What's going on, folks? Thanks for joining me on another episode of the Duck Gun Chronicles. And this is going to be another one of the Teal series videos. And today's topic is Teal ammo and choke tubes. So, before we jump into the main content, if you're new here, make sure you hit that sub button. You won't regret it. We have tons of waterfowl content coming all season long, and the main gig of this channel is putting out the hunt videos, as well as we do a lot of these tips and trick videos as well, to help out the beginner all the way to refreshing for the veteran. So also we run the podcast, and today's video is going to be a little different. Actually collaborating with Elliot from Freelance Duck Hunting to make this video, and he is the co-host of the podcast as well. So we're going to jump into this topic together and talk about the Teal chokes and Teal ammo. So let's jump right into it. I'm Jordan from Duck Gun Chronicles. Got my co-host alongside me, Elliot Graybeard from Freelance Duck Hunting, and we're here to talk about our Teal ammo selections today on this video. How you doing today, Elliot?
This is the first time we've ever tried anything like this. I'm excited about it. I think this started by me trying to get you to make some of my content, and this is what we ended up with.
Yeah, so I think it'll be pretty good, and we're both working through our series of Teal videos. So it'll be interesting to see how this one turns out, throwing it in there. But something that we both enjoy doing in September is going after the Teal.
And this year we're actually doing it together. Well, not my first Teal hunt will not be your first Teal hunt, but you're going to have how many hunts will you have in by the time that we get on our Teal hunts?
I have no idea. I'll be trying to hit up Michigan for some Teal, but what I've been hearing is the geese are a little bit easier to get on, so we'll see what I can do. Maybe it's Teal, maybe it's geese, but I'll definitely be trying to get on some hunts 2 weekends before that. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and I don't know if I've told you guys this or not, but Jordan, Ben Page from Foul Front, and the wives, we are renting out my uncle's cabin, which is called Snow Goose Lodge, and we are all meeting up for the Kansas Teal opener. It's going to be an epic weekend, so man, we're excited for that. That's going to be fun.
Awesome. Yeah, no doubt. It's going to be a really good weekend to get out there and get on the Teal. So let's go ahead and jump to the topic here and talk about the ammo. So I guess I'll let you go ahead and just talk about your selection of ammo in the past.
All right. We've always used fours until last year. So I've always just done steel fours, which were federal. And last year we decided to switch to sixes. Well, I switched to sixes because Rogers was out of fours. And man, was so happy with. I went out and patterned it. I did a patterning video. The pattern on my sixes were phenomenal. I ended up shooting like 71% on Teal last year. So I was absolutely bought and sold on sixes for Teal for sure.
Awesome. And in the past for me as well, I've actually gone as big as number twos. That's back in the day when I didn't know what I was doing, and someone had suggested that I shoot number twos for ducks, geese, and everything, just to save money. Go with the number twos. Well, I think that's a fine strategy as long as you're not going for some early season Teal, because two is definitely too big for Teal. Your pattern density is not going to be where you need it to be for a small fast bird like a Teal. So yeah, in the past I've done that. I've also used fours, like you've said, just because that's a good load for big ducks. But this year I'm going to feel even more comfortable. And actually last year as well, I used number sixes, and they did great. So this year, though, we're both switching to Boss shot shell, and we're going to go sixes. And I would even feel comfortable going something even smaller with high density as far as bismuth is. But number sixes, again, for the high density of the pattern on Boss shot shell is going to be great.
So what is the smallest shot size? It's weird because the bigger the number, the smaller the actual pellets. So when I say the smaller shot size, like, do they have an 8? Does Boss do 8s?
Honestly, I don't know if they go below six right now. As far as I know, I think 6 is the smallest they got.
Because I know when we were hunting quail with lead, we were always using 8s, 7.5s or 8s.
Mm-hmm.
And I would imagine.
Pheasant.
Yeah. Well, we actually used 6s for pheasants and 8s for is how we did it. And if we weren't quite sure what was going to be coming up, we would lead with an 8 and then back it up with a 6. But I would assume with the Bismuth, the Boss, if they had 8s, that would be fine because it's just heavier and it just lands that
Yeah,
punch.
no, as far as your knockdown power, going up to an 8 will be fine. You have the same knockdown, if not more, than you have with regular kind of traditional, well, not really traditional, but the fast steels we have nowadays compared to Bismuth, you're going to be fine going smaller and having the higher density.
Yeah, for sure. So I definitely will be using 6s for this year because that's what I've got coming in. And it'll be great. I'll probably adjust the choke size though, or I'm sorry, choke with that.
Yeah. So that kind of brings us to the next topic. So let's go ahead and start talking about choke tubes. So what do you kind of generally do on your choke setup for Teal?
I've always used modified until 2 years ago I went to improved, and I was very, very happy with the improved. I was using improved 4s, but then when we got the 6s, I decided to keep a modify in, and that worked great for me. But if I'm using Bismuth at 6s, I'll probably go back to improved, and a lot of it does depend on what kind of shooting you're getting. If you guys see my videos from Teal season, especially last year, the shots we're getting are between 10, most of them are between 10 and 20 yards, some of them at 25, so we're killing these birds close.
And just to clarify real quick, is that improved cylinder or improved modified?
Yeah, improved. I didn't even know there was an improved / modified until you started talking about it. Honestly, I've been in the dark about that. So
You said improved again.
yeah, because I said improved / modified. I didn't know that combo was even a thing until you started.
So you got improved cylinder is what you're using.
Yeah, improved cylinder. Yeah, 2 years ago I used improved, and then we went to modified 6s. But this year, if I'm going to Bismuth 6s, I'll probably switch back to an improved. But then there's this whole thing with Bismuth that you have to actually use a more restrictive choke. So I'm not sure because I haven't had a chance to actually pattern these guns, and that's a question that we need to ask them at Boss is, with what they're saying, maybe I'll still use a modified, but I would like to use an improved.
Yeah, I hear you on that. So again, one thing as well with that Bismuth that'll be a little different than either one of us has experienced with it so far is they have the copper-coated, the copper-plated Bismuth right now, so that's definitely going to help with patterning. You're going to have less dimpling and less flyers, so you're going to have a really, really good pattern with that plating. So then again, you might not have to choke it as tight like you're saying, and you'll be able to go down to your improved cylinder if that's something you're comfortable shooting.
And many of you probably know this, but what Jordan is referring to is steel is harder and lighter than like Bismuth and lead, which is heavier and softer. So when the shot string comes out of the barrel, then there gets some knocking together. And so with a softer metal like a lead or a Bismuth, it will actually change the shape of the pellet a little bit, causing them to disperse oddly or in different directions. So Boss has put a copper plating on it, which is a little bit harder, which stops some of that dimpling and stops some of that odd patterning. Is that your understanding, Jordan?
Yeah, so you just get, if you get one of the BBs that gets compressed too much with lead or with Bismuth, without plating, then you can have what they call a flyer, where it just it's kind of a wiffle ball effect, and it kind of just spins out of your pattern.
So your whole pattern ends up spreading out more.
Yeah, you end up with flyer. So with the plating, it increases the accuracy by a lot. So you just have really, really good patterns, with still being able to have that dense, really dense material flying at them. So should be good. So I guess to kind of wrap this up, I guess we're pretty much in agreement. We're both going to shoot 6s in the Bismuth for the Teal, and as well, I'll probably use the modified choke. And you might use improved cylinder. So
yeah, probably so.
Definitely excited for it, and should be good. You got any last words you want to throw in here?
Well, I don't know what time. Well, we could do a quick discussion on chokes and what ranges they use, or maybe we want to save that for a different time.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Let's go ahead and I guess go ahead and lead on with that.
So let's go ahead and put this chart up here. For many of you already know this, but some of you, this may be the first time that you see it, and you may just hear, oh, full choke is for longer shots, whatever. Here is the actual chart of the distances that each choke performs the best at. So you can see the bigger the circle on this chart, the more effective your pattern is going to be. So you can see here what you get with improved, modified, and full. So clearly for teal, if you're shooting birds, between 10 to 25 yards, improved is a better pattern for that range than a full would be. If you know you're going to be shooting pass shots at teal and they're coming through fast, and you're probably going to be shooting them at 40. I was talking to Jordan. I don't ever remember in the past few years taking a 40-yard shot on teal. I just don't. But if those are the shots you think you're going to get, then improved might not be something that you want to use. So, but I find this chart to be very, very interesting. What are your thoughts, Jordan?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It's a good kind of indicator, and you can see right through the charts. It's got the inches of how big your spread's going to be at certain yardages with certain chokes. So, like Elliot said, pass shooting with teal, for a number of reasons, you might want to avoid it. It's just as far as identification. If you got a bird swinging through at 40 yards, and you live in an area where you might have some other birds flying through, pass shooting at 40 yards is really going to be hard for identification. So again, if you're gonna have your game plan ahead of time, then I would say, yeah, go with something a little bit wider, because you're probably not going to be shooting many birds that are outside of your decoys.
Absolutely, I totally agree. Yeah, and this data is research based, where they have just gone out and they've patterned these, they've tested these. And these are very, very common. If you look at different information on the internet, you're going to see pretty much all the same information about these chokes and the distances. Now, your perfect circle is what, 32 to 40? Is that what you're looking for as far as size on a pattern? Inch diameter?
I don't know what's preferable. Obviously, I guess the bigger the pattern, the easier it is to hit the bird, especially if you got a dense load like number 6s. So yeah, I'm sure probably the bigger the better.
Until you start getting big holes in your pattern. So you go and pattern your gun, you'll see it gets so big that there's holes in your pattern where you get a bunch of BBs here, a bunch here, and then you get maybe a hole in the middle or something. So you want it as big as possible, yet maximum number of pellets inside the circle. And I think that between 70 and 96 pellets inside the circle is what you're looking for typically. I think I saw that on that chart we looked at earlier from Tom Roster.
Gotcha. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'll double check that, and if I'm wrong, I'll cut this out of the video.
Alrighty. Well, I think now that's probably a good place to wrap up, unless you got anything else you want to throw in there, Elliot.
Nope, it's coming fast, and I'm excited, and my first hunt is going to be with you, which is cool, and Ben, so yeah, just total anticipation.
Awesome. Super pumped for it. Alright, well I think that's all we got. Thanks again, Elliot, for jumping on here for the teal ammo part of the teal season series. So, that's all we got, folks.
Yeah. Well, that's all we've got. Alright, be quiet. I'm going to smack you in your mouth. I've always wanted to say that. That was great.
What?
That I want to smack you in the mouth.
Oh.
I'll probably put this in at the end of the video, like the last 20 seconds. Let the music play. All right, here we go. Well, that's all we've got for you today, and we are excited about teal season. I guess I'll talk to you later, Jordan.
All right, see ya. All right, guys, thanks again for watching it. Awesome that Elliot could jump on there with me and talk about the teal and ammo. If you guys haven't checked out the podcast again, I'm going to really highly suggest it. We talk about all this kind of stuff all the time, and really long form content, as well as having some awesome guests on there, so you won't regret it. It'll be awesome, and we'll appreciate it. So anyways, that's all we got for today. Make sure you hit that sub button, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Let's go.